Coach, let me first congratulations, 5-0 win. It's a very, very good win. First game of the year, and you are able to score 5 goals. Your assessment of the game, please.
It was a very big objective of our team to start the game at a very high tempo, to try and disturb the opposition, to try and score an early goal, to not concede an early goal. So those were our specific objectives. As it turns out, in the first 20 minutes, we scored 2 very well taken goals, and it was a pretty even game in the sense that the opposition was making a fist of it. Unfortunately, they got a red card, which gave us the ascendancy. It should have been a little bit more convincing, and like most times when you play against 10 players, you get lazy. So the last 25 minutes of the first half, we got too casual, and the tempo of the game went down. And at half-time, I did say to them, 10 players can upset you. 2-0 is a dangerous score line. If they come back after half-time and steal a goal, that game's on, whether they got 10 or 9 players. And with the 10 players, wrongly or rightly, I thought, let's go for broke. Let's play 4 in the front line, and that was the system we used in the second half. 4-2-4, 4 defenders. We kept the defense exactly like that. We didn't shuffle that around. Unfortunately, our CDM got injured. We replaced him with a kid that wasn't a CDM. And unfortunately, the 2 midfield players in the second half just weren't as strong as we were in the first half. That said, we scored an extra 3 goals in the second half. I understand we haven't scored so many goals for a while, so that's a big bonus for us. Playing against 10 players, I do take cognizance of that, but it's important not to concede a goal. So with all the weaknesses in the centre midfield in the second half, the back 4 defended extremely well and still marshalled very well by young Stingo, the goalkeeper. All in all, 3 points, very well deserved 3 points, I must be honest. So we look forward to Monday morning to go back and don't forget about this game. Take the good parts, analyze the bad parts, and try and do it all again next week, Saturday.
Coach, you mentioned that you had a numerical advantage because they got a red card. But as you made the changes and went broke up front with 4, but you still kept that back 4, you didn't tamper with it. Was that because it was very important for you not to concede a goal?
It was very important. So for the same reasons that we had that specific objective in the first half, i.e. to play at a high tempo, to score the first goal, do not concede. And that was exactly the specific objective in the second half. We almost, because the left back had a few yellow cards and we're scared he may get another yellow, so I suggested we keep him there, keep the back 4 as it was, and not tamper around with it. And that worked in our favour, just to keep that back 4, because as I said to you, the centre midfield with only 2 in the midfield, they weren't as strong as the first half, where there was 3 centre midfield players, and we played 4-3-3 in the first half, and we played 4-2-4 in the second half. So it all worked out. It doesn't always work out, but it worked out today. But there's a lot of work to be done. There's 1 or 2 kids, I understand, being offered trials at PSL clubs. There's nothing we can do about that, and I'm sure that we'll reinforce in the next. The transfer window is coming up shortly, as we know. So I think we'll reinforce in a few positions that we need reinforcing, and I look forward to putting a lot more constructive things around the team that's going to make us even stronger.
Coach, you've been here not for a short time, but I'm sure you've made your own assessment of the team. You mentioned that there are areas that you need to strengthen in terms of the structure, in terms of the players you have. What are those specific areas that you think for the team to go all the way and challenge Highlands Park and La Masia and go for the title? What are those areas that you need to strengthen in? And are there any changes that you think you need to make structurally?
We need 2 goalkeepers. We need another strong central defender. We need another strong central defensive midfield player. Our captain, Malumi Maleka, he didn't play. He was injured today. So under normal conditions, he will come back. But even when he's injured, I think we still need to reinforce in that CDM position. And again, the striking force. You know, you're hamstrung by the under 23s in the first half. So it always becomes such a talking point. You know, must you change these kids at halftime, even when they're playing well? And you become so nervous, especially if you're winning only 1-0. So you almost want to bring these seniors on. So you want to consolidate what you've achieved in the first half. I think sometimes we must be a little bit more lenient with the kids. Let them play. Let them play. They're not going to learn if they don't have 90-minute game time. You know. But structurally, I think this team is well structured. I'm very impressed. As I see, I'm only there maybe 3 or 4 days. But very impressed with the attitude, very impressed with the setup. Yeah, Chairman Joe Asianejo, he's an operator, he takes no nonsense. And I think once him and I start to get some momentum, it's going to be very difficult to stop us.
Coach, thank you very much for your time and all the best going forward.
Thank you, sir.